Though Evan may have missed the Bitcoin last week, one thing that and the reason we do this when Evan and I are going back and forth is usually we have counter positions. When we did it last week, our sentiment was dead on. And what we were showcasing was the run up on top line sentiment and the slowing right here, which told us, and which we did. If you guys are not following me over on Substack now, we have PBN3 over there, which is really opening up. A lot of new stuff over there. But the point was we made in that statement was that it was likely that we'd see a little bit of a correction for Bitcoin. It did correct down under 23, came into 22.5. So with that being the case, what do your charts show this week on Bitcoin now where it is holding at a little under the 23K?
Yeah, so obviously things are a little bit different than they were last week. Can't get them right 100% of the time, as you mentioned. You know, I think the first thing that we want to look at in the Bitcoin chart here is the weekly 200 moving average. And also, like you mentioned, the Fed is going to talk, Powell is going to talk in the beginning of February. So that could kind of be a catalyst to end the rally as well. So I want to show you the 200 weekly moving average that currently sits right here at 24.7 about, 24.6 about. And this is a huge point because, you know, look right here. This was the bottom in 2018. And this was, you know, you didn't have enough data back here, but it was the bottom, one of the bottoms in August 2015, obviously a great place to get in. And I mean, in the pandemic drop, you came below it, but you regained it and you just came a lot higher. It's a major point. So what I think is one of two things is going to happen. One, and this is what I think is a little less likely because the Fed coming in, I think the Fed's going to prevent this. You come up here and you keep this area. And if you could keep this area without a fierce rejection, I think what you're entering is more of an accumulation phase in the end of this under this bear market. And I think you're going to look something more like this kind of area after 2015, maybe like this, where you have more of a sideways year, sideways 2023, where you're just bouncing around, you know, between 24K and maybe up to 35K, up to 30K. I know that's a little bit of let's not talk about 30K until we pass over 25K. Then we could talk about 30K. Nobody should be talking about 30K yet. That's how you jinx it. But the other scenario is if you see a fierce rejection off of this point, and you might, given in the next week, given when the Fed speaks, there are some catalysts and some things on the charts that could have this show us this, especially the 3-day. So I want you to look here.
Yeah.
I circled it over here, blue triangle, green dot, back in April after this rally. I mean, this was an ugly bull trap right here. Very ugly bull trap. You came right down. There's a possibility. I don't know if you're going to come down that much, but there's definitely a possibility, especially with the incoming recession possibility. If the S&P 500 goes down more, which we're seeing as well, and if Bitcoin dominance, you know, continues to really come up, you could see a pretty big correction down to maybe 12K in the next few months for a potential bottom there.